turn to agitation. Sensation overblown, tickling like exploration. You found the right time, right zone.
Hey, what's up? I'm drinking.
Drinking the life
Me?
away.
Well, probably. Nah, I slowed down a little bit. I took a couple weeks off. I took a couple weeks off of drinking.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, heavily.
That was for a bad episode.
I dialed it back a little bit. I had to dial it back a little bit. You know.
Dialed back a lot since COVID. I think.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like during the whole COVID thing, I didn't really drink a lot at home, but then I feel like I compensated for it after we got to go back out, which is why I have to slow back down again a little sometimes, you know.
I think I'm just like losing my luster for beer and all. I just want a nice bourbon.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that too, you know.
Sophistication.
Yeah.
That's
what that is.
Yeah.
Ooh, whose sexy voice is that?
Oh, hello there. Night owls.
He comes in all, yeah.
I think I drank more during the pandemic. Like,
Did you really?
I was getting drunk on weeknights. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
damn.
Like, and it was, but I was hosting. I was hosting a Zoom casino as well. So
Zoom? How the hell do you host a Zoom casino? What the hell is
you wanna
that?
talk about that? That was a pretty good thing. I don't know. Am I incriminating myself by
No,
talking about
Probably.
that?
I don't know the legality of whatever you were doing.
It was all for fun.
Okay.
No money was exchanged.
Oh.
No, we were hanging out on Zoom, man. And one night, I'm like, I had half a craps table in the downstairs of my garage. And that was my buddy's.
You got a camera aimed at the craps table and you're just throwing dice for people?
I brought out a couple iPads, laptop, phones, and you'd come into my Zoom room, and there would be like 6 different camera angles to choose from.
Did you set up like stations so you could have virtual friends over?
No,
to
nobody
shoot?
had a stage. I would have them on my laptop in front of me, but I built like a truss system out of shelves.
Oh, okay.
And so I'd have an eye in the sky.
I thought you had like an iPad on each person's like place, so
Got
you could
stuffed
see
animals
so you could see their faces, you know, and you'd be like, "Hey, look! Oh, I got my friends with me."
That would have been better. That's a
He's
fantastic.
got some hollyhock taxidermist. He's got some.
Yeah,
Got some animals sitting on the chairs.
yeah, just all
with an
good.
iPad for a face.
Right.
No, so those were my cameras. So you'd get to come in there and you could like choose to focus on your money, or you want to see the come out roll, you want to see anything, you could switch your camera angle and watch everything.
You were bored.
Very. So running that a couple nights a week, and just getting hammered on like Tuesday nights, you know, because working from home, didn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
All I had to do was make sure my ass was up by like 9 a.m. to do my job, and So I think I drank more during for sure.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I did not, because I'm never a big home drinker. Anyways, I have like one occasional where I'll just get on a little bit of a tear, like for that week. You know, like I think I remember one point during the first little bit of it, I posted up. I'm like, is 3 64-ounce whiskey sours too much?
I think if you have to ask.
Yeah, it's too much.
And I'm just sitting on my patio. I got TV. I got my TV on my patio. I got the fire going. I'm watching some British game shows or something, you know, and just sitting out there. And I'm just real. Actually, they may have been 32 ounces, but you know, regardless, I had 3 or 4 of them, and probably 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey.
I get pretty good. Like even with sports, like I'm not. It's like football. You gotta get beer, and usually, it was a social thing too for until that shit happened, and so you just kind of scale back. And like at home, like it's no fun just grabbing beers and watching football by yourself. It's just completely different, you know. So it's just weird. But now hockey game's on, and I still gotta have.
So you have a beer in hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It goes in overtime. It's
Well,
bourbon.
But like,
Yeah.
if you're
But
drinking
hockey.
by yourself, like it's easy not to go overboard, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So it like takes everything in me now to drink a beer during the week.
Sometimes, but I would get in warm if I'm on like sitting down. Like I'm tired. I'll have a nice glass of bourbon and mellow out, put some tunes on, and sometimes you get those tunes rolling. You get in a wormhole of tunes, especially stuff you haven't heard before. Find stuff on YouTube. Like you get in that music wormhole, and bourbon starts flowing. And the next thing you know, it's 2 a.m. And
then the QAnon comes out, and the fucking
yeah.
Brandon's rethinking his political leanings.
Going to the Capitol. Yeah.
All right, so we never actually identified who's here.
Well, Jared, let's. I don't even know how to introduce him because
This is Jared Heiner.
Your friend.
our
He's-
buddy, but you're
It's
more
been
than
a
that now.
while.
It's
It's been a while, you know.
It's been a while, but
A good friend of the show.
yeah, I mean, it's something. This is the Kammy's Cause. We'll get into is something that we really care about and something we've really scaled back from doing all the festivals and stuff. But this is something that we really care about. We'll do every year, and we missed a little.
Well, we missed a year or two.
I think we missed the one.
You guys were Main Street.
Yeah,
19.
Yep.
And then we didn't do 20.
Yep.
Right.
And then it was just last year we had Landmark. So it was
Right.
that
We
Yep.
couldn't. Yeah. I want to talk about that because we missed it. We had that one. We had a conflict.
one. Okay.
Well, because
And
everything was goofy scheduled.
Everything had all changed up.
We do the
Noblesville Brew Fest at the same day.
Everybody
They had like
pushed.
5 festivals in town that
Yeah.
same day as that.
And
We'll talk
3
about
of them
that.
the ones we
Yeah.
do every year. I'm like, you got to be kidding
Yeah.
me, man.
Yeah, it's like I don't have enough people to split everybody out.
Yeah.
It's usually, there for a while it was like us and then Stapleton would come in and like every time, like 2 or 3 years in a row, would pick the same night as Kammy's Cause. And it's like, come on, man. I can deal with some of the country acts. There's
Yeah.
usually a country act,
Yeah.
right? That's like out there. And I'm like, that's not going to hurt our demographic. But when Stapleton comes in, I'm like, we're going to feel that one. 'Cause, yeah, why wouldn't you go see that? But anyhow, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't Grand Junction maybe too. 'Cause we always, John and I, we always care about going to see.
Well, it wasn't the
everything
same
he's got going on.
day. No, it was Noblesville Brew Fest was the same day, and
Yeah.
because we were
Oh,
going to
that's
try
right.
to
We're gonna
split.
try
We
and
were
do
going to try to get done early.
Yeah.
Well, there was just no way we'd do it because we didn't have the manpower to do it. Just up and go from 1 4-hour beer fest to something else. Another one to hang out and do for the rest of the night. It was just nope. And it ended up going a little long. And we ended up not getting out till late. So
Yeah, we were trying to do those festivals on a Friday and a Saturday.
yeah,
That was just became
those are dangerous. Those are rough.
2 in 1 day.
Nope.
So
Yeah, trying to do Friday night ones and then Saturdays. Saturday is always rough.
You ever find it hard to like talk about stuff? Or do you guys just naturally
That's what drinks are
just
for.
keep going? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, not really. I mean,
Sometimes,
well, a lot of times it's fine because we'll have a topic scheduled, and then
we don't
we
even
hardly
stick with that one.
ever 5 minutes in we're on something else, and
It's usually
Like a singular topic?
it's usually
I mean,
my fault.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you guys approach us, is that what you go with? Like, hey,
the home shows will try. Hey, let's do a show. We'll do some beer reviews, and we'll do this topic, and or other than usually Pat and I, the ones that do any kind of effort to look into the subject anyway. And next thing but we hardly ever get by 5 minutes in, it's something
We'll go off
the
on
wall
something
or something
else.
else is going on. Next thing you know, it's a half hour in. I was like, oh shit,
Which
hey.
is the fun of it.
But that's it just makes it a lot of fun because we haven't had a problem just hanging out, bullshitting, and even at a brewery and stuff. It's been
It's
been
usually
easy,
pretty good.
Sometimes it's a little bit slow starting out. Sometimes when you don't know.
That's why
Who
you
you're
get
with?
that's why you get the drinks early. And
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
you get the guest a little off their game, a little little relaxed, a little calm down, and it'll usually go. That's why I have to drink
Yeah.
early because I'm a horrible anxiety and introvert
Yeah.
in most cases.
Yeah, the brew
90%
fest can
of the
be,
time.
The brew fest can be sometimes getting brewers on because you don't know brewers, but I think it's a little bit easier going to Kammy's Cause. Typically, we're talking musicians and stuff, and the artists and those
They love to
they're
talk.
typically a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little bit easier from the
They're
sit down
performers.
And, yeah,
right.
But
Not that we haven't.
but oddly enough, you stick headphones on them and put a mic in front of them at a
Some, but-
table. They get weird. Some of them get very
sometimes,
weird
But I don't know, it's easier. I don't know
because they're not on stage. I'm like, do you want to stand up? Try to get you a standing mic and
Right, yeah. They're like, wait, I have to say something I didn't write down. in the
right.
notes
Yeah.
already.
If you want to sing all your words, that's fine. I guess. I mean, we can turn this into a musical. Sure.
I was
I was
thinking about
usually able
that.
to get some stories out of them.
Yeah, I mean, because like currently in my garage, another like along with the whole casino thing was build a full bar. I got an arcade in there. I got
Nice.
It's a sports bar. So I got multiple TVs all around that thing.
So you don't park your cars in there?
No.
It's Indiana. I should have known better. It's Indiana. Nobody actually
I know.
uses their fucking garage.
I think
Well,
we're
this-
the only people that put. Yeah,
This is like a 2.5 car, 2-story, detached in my backyard.
Oh,
It
okay.
used to be so the house I live in. They also ran a gutter helmet business out of that barn.
Oh,
so it
what?
was
Who?
the gutter covers, so you don't get the
Oh,
leaves in
okay.
them.
Gotcha.
Gutter helmet is what theirs is called. But so the garage doors are big enough for like those shop trucks. You
Right.
know what I mean, with the ladder
Oh,
racks
damn.
and everything.
Well, that's nice.
The upstairs was the office, so detached from the house. So that whole thing now is just a. The upstairs used to be the music studio during Breakdown Kings and
Yeah.
those days.
Yeah.
But then during the pandemic, it was like, shit, I just want to play arcade
Yeah.
and gamble and stuff. So we built a
Nice.
casino bar. But I was thinking, podcast wise, like that is my idea, like to
yeah.
have a podcast at that bar, and then whoever the guest
Why
is
aren't we?
be able to.
Why aren't we at your garage?
That's
then?
what I'm saying.
honestly, yeah. What are we doing?
You never made? Did you ever make that suggestion to Brendan?
Well, I am right now.
Well,
so
well, we can't like pick up and move now.
but anytime in the near future. Any blind pig in the near future,
Yeah,
you guys
there
are
you go.
welcome. Retro game. This thing's got like 17,000 games on it.
I love
So
that.
you pick anything between the inception of arcade all through PS1, as I've got on this unit.
Nice.
It's a 4-player
Yeah.
trackball, so you can do golden
yeah.
tee. We had
Nice.
a bowling league in my garage during the winter that was just with the trackball on there,
Nice.
playing a bowling game.
Curling league would have been better.
They didn't have a good
They didn't have a curling game?
No.
Oh, come on.
Like old, like maybe Atari.
you know they have
curling with-
you know they have an amateur curling league in Westfield in the winters. Mm-hmm. We're actually thinking about doing it. Me and my pool, some guys from my pool team, because I do pool league. Because they have a couple. There's like 2 weeks where you can go if you've never done it before, and they'll kind of train you. There's some guys that'll train you.
So then
and
you're
then you
good
can
to go
join
for
the
the league?
amateur curling league.
Oh, we
Out
should
of
get
fucking
Cowboy up
Westfield,
there. Tell him we're
right?
joining. Don't tell him what
Oh,
it's
Cowboy
for.
would love it. All Canadian.
I've been itching for some curling. Like it.
Oh, yeah.
I saw like a meme once that says something like, "These look like a group of dads that were just fucking around one weekend and ended up in the Olympics."
Right?
You know?
Yep. Like, grab that broom over there.
Right.
That might help.
And that's what it looks like.
I'd end up there with like a Swiffer.
endorsements.
Growing up in northern Michigan, late 70s, early 80s, it was Wild World Sports, and it was every weekend was boxing and curling and hockey. I mean, that was that's what we had.
I
Into the
can't
football games,
recall
but-
when it started, but I probably whenever it started in the Olympics and stuff. But it's a weird sport. If I'm flipping through when you're flipping through channels and it would come on, it'd be like, okay, I have
around
to
and watch.
stop. It's like when you flip through the channels and Shawshank is on or something. You
Have
just
to stop.
You
Out
have
of
to stop
respect.
and watch. Just stop and watch the fucking movie.
Pure respect.
You got something to do? No, you don't now because you have to finish watching Shawshank because
Talk
you
about Andy Dufresne.
because you were dumb enough to flip through and you paused long enough. You're like, shit, I'm stuck. But there's a couple funny movies about curling. The Men with Brooms, if you can find it.
Ooh, all right.
It's actually got Leslie Nielsen in it,
I was gonna say, I know.
Sold.
but it's
So-
ridiculously stupid movie. But it's a curling movie for fuck's sake.
All right. So Westfield, do you know where this location is at? Do you have any details?
I'll look them up and I'll send them to you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we gotta do that. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I
I think it'd be
I
kind
got
of-
a
I think
crew
it'd be-
that would be
and I am
interested. Very
horrible. I am
interested.
horribly not coordinated, but I think I still might be able to do that.
Yeah, you can be the broom guy. You could be. There's like 4 guys on a team, right? Or 4 people on a team.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
the
about
com-
the shoes though. You got not because you got to get the shoes with a
if
little
you're-
bit of grip on them or something.
If you're letting it go, those dudes are like crossed up, leg crossed over the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
the guys throwing the stone are
Yep.
just they get
precarious.
yeah. I don't think I'll do that. I'm not gonna get that.
Oh, you're not gonna be any
coordinated.
good then. I mean, you're gonna have
Well,
you gotta get that.
It's
pose down
amateur.
to get-
It's amateur fucking curling league. I'm not supposed to be that good. You'll be lucky
Get
if I
that
don't get
twist
mad
out.
and just jam that thing down there and break it.
Clear them all out real quick.
Granite stones throwing them down the way.
They got some of those. I don't know what the game is called, but it's a similar thing with the bullseye and the outer rings with the balls, almost like bocce.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like the target, and they throw.
I've
those
seen
things.
those. Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah. The one clip I saw, the dude just rolled one from the outside, and it just came in, click, click, click.
Yeah, they're
click,
not.
click,
They're
click,
not.
It's on the
They're not totally round.
and just settled
balls.
right into the bullseye. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
on the same. What kind of a what's it on? What are
Dirt.
they playing on? Oh, they're playing on.
It could be dirt. It could be.
It looked like a manicured
It's-
floor, like it was some type of playable floor. But yeah, they were like almost like bocce, and it was like curling distance. It seemed like from
Really?
what I could
Yeah, I
remember.
definitely haven't seen that.
They're putting spin on them, man. That's
Really?
the touch on them was just
Some English on there.
oh my god, it was works of art.
Huh. I have to check that out. So do you have like a podcast station? You have like is that what you're kind of thinking about or building in your space there? Or?
I just thought it'd be cool to have a
It'd be-
podcast like that
Yeah.
to like bring
Yeah.
a guest in and just
Yeah.
shoot the shit and then hop on the
Yeah.
arcade and
Yeah.
like whether it's a video with the podcast.
You could do
know
a
what I
little,
mean?
yeah.
got,
So,
like,
you
the-
could do little friendly competitions during this thing and that'd be kind of fun.
Exactly. Some people kind of open up more. You might,
Yeah,
you unlock
yeah.
a chapter of their childhood
Yeah.
with a game.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
somebody's more likely to.
Yep.
I just thought that'd be kind of a
especially
cool
those old
idea.
school games,
It's called
yeah.
bowls. BOWLS. Your sport.
Bowls.
Bowls.
Oh,
It's
bowls?
English
Really?
bowling, basically.
There you go.
It's down in the grass. You know where there's
Grass.
Oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
cook game.
Yeah, it's called English. It's bowls.
So it's kind of like bocce.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah. The concepts are all still the same.
The bullseye's kind of like the target ball,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Let's try this brew we got in
gonna
front of
be
us,
here-
and then we're gonna talk a little about Kammy's Cause and
What's going on this year?
Right.
What we missed last year.
yeah. Did they do
So what we got here? This is a stout.
It is. It's an imperial stout. It is a Martin House, out of Texas. Out of Texas, Martin House.
Is that a ram skull on the front? It's a curved horn, right?
It's
the devil.
devilish.
It's the devil.
Yeah, it's Acheron.
Yep.
Is that another name for Satan?
Acheron
Probably.
River. It is it's the border of hell.
Oh, well,
There you go.
my wife's pregnant. We need a name for our upcoming child, and that one sounds pretty cool. Acheron, huh? All right.
Black malts, black barley, and chocolate malts, crystal malts, and oats. You got should have a little finish of brown sugar on there. Probably a little, it's probably a little sweetness in there.
So another idea on that podcast was a buddy of mine is always, where does he like to go? One of the breweries up north. It's not Upland.
Up north.
They do a bunch of like the slushy beers, like the
The smoothie beers.
it's not the 420. Yes, like
yeah.
I mean, so many different flavors, right?
What are you talking about?
Is it the 450 South or
Oh,
is it
450 North.
450 North?
450
Brewing?
North.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. So he
Well,
would,
they do the corn. Those are the ones who do the corn maze and all that. Yeah.
so he would bring over just randomly. When he came over, he'd bring over a couple of his new ones, but would pour little glasses, and our dumbasses would all sit around the bar and like grapefruit. And like we're trying to guess the ingredients and of it, and it became a game. And it was like seeing if we could nail it. We got pretty good towards the end of it, but
That's kind of what I want to try to start doing some like the video stuff, and sometimes we can't all get together, and then we just do like a 5-minute review of a beer when we're an actual blind review of it, where because we're sitting here sometimes you can be a little biased because when you're for one we don't try and badmouth anything, especially local stuff, but if you're trying beers apart from one another and you can't see what they're doing and how they're getting and the flavors are getting out of it, just to see be a completely different view of that beer, and then mash them together and put it out for like a 10-15 minute video.
Maybe Jared can teach us how to do the Zoom, and we just do it from our laptops and Zoom it.
Yeah,
We'll have a little look at like the
$14.99 a month for the membership.
What's the you have to pay for
you know
Zoom?
what?
If you want your session to be longer than 40 minutes, yes.
Oh, we don't need more 40 minutes.
Yeah,
we
so
need
half
5
hour,
minutes, 10 minutes, half hour.
but that may be
Even
the way
that,
to go. Then
I just want to do like
editing.
the Brady Bunch, style, so that everybody's pictures are, there's like 4 of us there. I don't know how to. I guess have to figure out how to record that and then post it up.
Put everybody in the room and you can record your
Oh,
session.
yeah.
You got Microsoft?
Yeah.
Microsoft has Teams. Teams
Yeah.
is really good
Yep.
at that too. So
Will Teams
Okay.
do that too? I haven't tried it. Most
Yeah.
of mine, I've never. I have conference calls all day long with Teams, Zoom, all of them, and I don't turn on my camera,
right.
because they don't require it.
You just get your initials.
I don't
in a
need to.
circle.
Yep, exactly. I don't need to be. Nobody needs to see any of this at work.
I'm saying.
Yeah. So thankfully, they don't require it at all. Thank God.
I think they did it first. My job, like, we want to see your face. Want to see your face.
Yep.
And then after a while,
Like,
like
shut up. Is
nobody
my work?
gave a
yeah.
shit.
Like, is my work getting done? Yeah. Leave me alone.
Right.
Right.
I
Stop
think
knocking.
there's like 2 people that do that at work still. And we had our ISO and it was remote, and it was funny because everyone's on, and then finally about that halfway through the first day, the auditor he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna click mine off, because he was at home doing it, and he said he was having issues or something. Bullshit, whatever. But it was great because as soon as he clicked, I was like, click. Done.
went dark.
Sweet. Good deal.
Mine, I'd be out in the garage. You know what I mean? It's all
Yeah.
painted up like a bar and everything. And it's,
All you do is hit. I didn't know you could record those
I
sessions.
think if you're
on there.
hosting,
Oh yeah.
you can record.
Okay.
And it'll tell everybody too. I'll give them a little banner.
I know
says
you
you're
do
not
with
being recorded.
Yeah, I know you can do it with WebEx. I've just never really set it up with WebEx with lots of cameras
Yeah,
and tried it. But
yeah.
it should be very easy to do. I can figure it out. I just
Yeah,
didn't
that'd
know
be
if Zoom was better than Teams, but because my Teams is my work account, and I don't know that.
But we still would need.
Right. I do a lot of the cause stuff through my work Teams account, and it does show up.
Yeah,
So there is that to think about too.
Yeah.
Unless you made a separate, Microsoft account.
yeah. I mean, I could use my.
This is
other
good.
one. This is
usually not a
spectacular
fan.
beer. This is fucking.
Really thought it was going to be really.
Thanks
especially
for
instead of brown
starting it all
sugar,
off
it's
with
gonna
a. Thanks for starting it off with a subtle 12%er.
Ooh, that's what it is. Hello.
Well,
Well,
it's an imperial
was-
stout. I mean, it's going to be 10 or above.
I had to step up the 17%ers upstairs in the refrigerator.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You got some 17% beer?
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
opened one yet. I got a couple of them. I'm like, man, I'm definitely not.
How many you
doing-
think it'll take? One, two?
Two
and done? One and done?
One
For,
and
for
done.
one person? Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
Like,
I'm
I like
sure.
those Kentucky bourbon barrel ales. And
Yeah.
4-pack. It's called, you don't
Nope.
even need all 4.
No.
So this was in a whiskey barrel for what, 4 months?
Yeah.
And it's definitely you just get a hint, and it's not. It's
Yeah, it's not boozy.
Yeah, it's not boozy at all.
all.
That's where I really thought it was going to be, especially at 12%. But it's not. It's really, really nice.
Well, you've got the brown sugar, which is going to add
Just-
some of the molasses because probably the molasses
but
and all
just
that.
it's
from
just
there.
a mild sweetness. It's not. Yeah, it's really nice actually. I like it a lot.
It's very smooth.
Oh yeah,
And no coconut, which is great.
yeah. They'll probably steal this.
Not
other
a fan?
can.
Not-
I'll steal this other
I-
can.
I love coconut and stuff, but not in beer, not in
Well, because
stouts.
it's typically
just an off-
oily and
Yeah.
and it's sunscreen e.
At least I haven't had a good one yet. Well,
There's been a couple.
what's-
Like if they toast the coconut,
yeah.
those are usually
Even like
use
the-
toasted coconut. But if they usually just are saying coconut, they're putting coconut oil or coconut
Flavoring.
flavoring. It's the toasted coconut I've liked. There
Common
was a
Necessity.
couple we had with Common
They
Necessity.
got a
got
good one.
one.
And,
So you're talking
I mean,
about
they're
like
out
actual
there.
coconut flakes being toasted.
Yeah,
and
toasted
reduced
and then
down.
put into the mix, right? To get something out of it, to add that little bit extra. That works for me. But yeah, regular coconuts are usually just the plain white coconut thrown in doesn't really
It just
do a
usually
lot.
overpowers it to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It gets to
Yeah,
be
this is
very,
good.
very, very sunscreeny. No, yeah, I'm
good to
surprised
know.
it's from Texas too.
Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah, we had a bad experience from I think the last one we had from Texas. That pickle.
Yeah, that was the pickle. I mean, it was great because I love pickle juice, but it literally just felt it. Somebody poured out a dill pickle juice into a can. It wasn't even because we've had pickle beers and there are some great freaking pickle
Oh, yeah.
beers.
Really?
Oh yeah,
This
but
wasn't
this
one of
was pickle juice. They just poured pickle juice into the beer.
It was bizarre. And it wasn't.
Now, again, I like pickle juice. It's great for It's great to drink before you go to bed if you've been drinking all night, because it hydrates better. Electrolytes, No, it is. I
I'm
shit you
learning
not.
I love pickles.
Before-
Hate picklebacks
Yeah.
because of the pickle juice, and I don't get it because pickles are dill pickles are one of my favorite things to eat. Period.
I get the dill pickles. I mean, the best pickle juice to use that I use is just like the Clausen, the really clear. But I mean the juice. Drink a glass of the
yeah.
juice before you go to bed if you've been drinking all night. That's very good.
Full glass of pickle
Well,
juice.
no. I mean, you can just a small glass of pickle juice.
4
But
ounces.
but it's also very good for heartburn.
You need 32 ounces.
If you're having
of
heart,
juice.
yeah, because it's a base. It's a vinegar.
And do you like spicy pickles?
I do not like spicy pickles.
really? Oh,
I
I
think
do.
spicy pickles are
Not
stupid.
spicy anything, but yeah, it's either gonna be dill or spice. But I don't like the sweet. Ugh.
Oh, sweet pickles are just
But
devils.
Either
Fucking
just plain
fingertips.
Yeah.
straight dill or a nice. But I do like a nice spicy, hot and spicy.
The best one.
My dad loves sweet pickles, and I just can't.
I'll put everything in my savings account.
Oh, yeah?
The best spicy pickle you'll ever eat is from Jungle Jim's,
Really?
Cincinnati. They have a habanero chunk pickle. I got a jar of them. Had I known, I would have brought it. It is legit the best pickle you will ever have in your
Habanero-
Nothing is
oh,
sacrificed
man.
in this pickle. Nothing is sacrificed for the extreme heat that you get and the overall taste
Really?
that you get. It is the perfect medley. And my wife has bought me hundreds of jars from other places,
Yeah,
and nothing
compares, huh?
Nothing gets close. McClure's,
Oh, man.
McClure's is close. If you've had McClure's, they're local
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
They got-
Actually, I got some McClure's in there.
They got a spicy dill. That's
Yeah. Yep.
It's a second. It's a distant second.
Yeah.
but it's good.
Oh man.
The
Ooh.
Jungle Jim's.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I
that's-
promise.
Well, I ordered.
Maybe we should move this podcast over to Jungle
right?
Jim's.
Yeah.
good.
I ordered. I can't remember from where, but there's a package of like 4. Because they were having the whiskey pickles and the beer somewhere they were soaking those in.
Yeah.
They were all awful. I'm not gonna say the company name, but they were awful.
Okay.
My dad wouldn't eat them, and my dad just fucking ate every kind of. He eats sweet pickles, so he should be able to eat anything. My brother was just like, no. He was like, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I thought I'd order them and try them, and then they had like whiskey soaked carrots too, or some pickled carrots, and I just none of it was any good. So I'm not too. I would I try the habanero pickle? Probably.
I'll
Yeah.
give you a little bit.
I'd have to. I'll always try it as long as it's not a fucking sweet pickle.
They nailed it. I started growing my own pickles and pickling them, and made my own hot pickle to try to match. I tried to get their recipe perfect.
Not even close.
No.
No, I didn't get close, but I did make some damn good pickles. and I had like 4 different levels of heat, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. I had one called Dick Kickers. Those were my hottest ones.
Oh.
But I sold out at a farmer's market in a church parking lot, and they came up to me beforehand and said, can you change the name of
The
those
penis
pickles?"
kickers. Can you change them to penis kickers?
I changed him to Draymond Greens because it was the playoffs and he had just kicked old boy in the nuts for like the second time during a basketball game.
Oh shit!
So I called him the Draymond Greens and sold out in one day. It was fantastic. My pickle empire.
That's
there one
perfect.
day, gone the next.
Well, damn.
Let's talk about the event coming up here.
Yeah.
That's what we're
And
drinking
why
our
we're
beer.
here, and yeah.
Yes.
So we got Kammy's Cause. Yeah. It's
Yep.
August 27th.
Okay.
You guys came out in 2019. We were on Main Street. That was
Right. Is that is that still not the same?
No, well, no, the
We're
first
right
year
around the
was-
corner.
The first year was the park still.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But
And then-
2019, you
Oh,
guys.
19
the
was
last
that
year
19 was that
the last year that
Jeez,
we
it's been that-
went was the first year at when you're Main Street. That was
Yes.
Fortville, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, tons of
Like-
people.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was really nice.
So we can't do. You're not doing Main Street anymore.
A couple reasons I wanted to move it. One, there's such a big difference when you're walking all day. Doing an event like that, to be walking on grass versus walking on pavement and concrete.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Huge difference. Like end of 2019, 1 a.m. rolls around and we're done cleaning up. Like, I
Yeah.
wanted to saw
Yeah.
off both of my legs, and
Yeah.
everybody was with me.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad, but the turnout was great. We had to deal with that train all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The train coming
yeah,
through on the
yep.
track, so that kind of prohibited a lot of movement.
Mm.
So what we did last year then was we moved it. So you guys were right in front of Fox Garden, if I remember correctly. So
I think so.
you
we
were
were
closer
like
to the stage?
midway.
Yeah.
We were halfway between that and the train track
Yeah, you were on the stage side
on
of
the
the
right
tracks,
side.
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So if you go over the tracks and then you finish that little block of buildings and you make a right, there's a park right there.
Oh, okay.
So I grew up in a house right on that park.
Right.
And that's where Kammy's Cause was invented.
Okay, yeah.
Essentially,
Oh,
was,
okay,
was when I lived
yeah.
right there. So when we're at the park having Kammy's Cause now, and it's at Landmark Park, I can just see my old house. You know what I mean?
that's
when
cool,
I'm standing
yeah.
right there, and
Yeah.
it's kind of where it all started. So it's full circle.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
But it's grass. It's more like the old park.
Yeah.
When,
Yep.
when we were back off 13.
Yep.
So it has more of that vibe because there's trees, there's tree
Yeah.
cover, a lot more grass, but it's a soccer field. And it's not used for Little League soccer anymore. So we're going to have the stage out there. We put it at one end of the soccer field and kind of angle it. So we've got the kids zone. So we'll have like four or five bounce houses. We got face painters, balloon artists. It's a blast. So that's going to be out there in the tree shade. Our silent auction is going to be out there in the tree shade. But then everything else, pretty much, we're going to move to that soccer field. So all the vendors, all the food, all the beer, all the alcohol.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And just kind of
Yeah.
make like a giant, almost like a horseshoe.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you do this last year?
Last year we had the vendors out on. So right next to the park is a church, and in between there's like a little, like a road with some parking spaces. We had the vendors there because it's a court,
Sure.
and we can block that off
Yeah.
and not really
Yep.
impede on too much
How,
traffic.
how did it go? I mean, granted, it's the first one back, compared to like the Main Street thing, having it. The Main Street thing seemed very, very convenient or helpful for all the
was.
other stores too. But
Yes, it brought a lot of business to Main
Sure.
Street, which they loved, and we loved doing for
Yeah.
them. Also, it grabbed people off Pendleton Pike that were driving
Right.
by and then just
Yeah,
saw like these
yeah,
big things. Like,
yep.
let's go check that out. So last year was okay. I mean, it definitely wasn't our best year by any means.
well, but you're also coming right off the pandemic,
Right out
and
of
trying to
COVID.
get it- yeah.
And like we said
Nobody's
earlier-
sure about being with other people yet.
you knew of 5 other events that were happening that same day.
Yeah.
Everybody
everything got-
pushed back
everything
to
pushed
the
to
end.
Yep. Yep.
And we did it initially just to get as far away from what we thought COVID would be as possible.
Right.
Sure.
So we could have it. And what sucked was in those years where we didn't get to do it is we were supposed to host the national conference again for the 4P Minus support group.
Right.
So we were going to have like 60, 70 families out there with us.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit.
Yep.
And so we couldn't do it. And then we bumped it again. And they said no to the conference because it was going to be in July. And so we still said yes to ours in September. State Fair was still going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Colts were still having games. And I'm like, if everybody else is doing
Yep.
stuff, then I guess we can too. But I think it was that. It was coming off the
Yeah.
heels of it. And I think people were kind of timid about being out there,
Yep.
even though the whole thing's outdoors. And I get that. So
Yeah.
last year wasn't the best, but it was a good kind of trial run
Yeah.
at bringing this back to Fortville. I mean, we've got the blueprint for 4 different locations now.
Yeah.
Main
Oh, yeah.
Street,
Yeah,
Landmark, the
yeah.
Old Park, and Hoosier Park.
Yep.
So we've got blueprints for all these places. We know how to run them, and it just gave us a much better idea to plan and prepare for this year. Because last year with the vendors over there, I feel like it kind of spread people out too much,
Probably, yeah.
and there weren't enough people for that to not matter.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
So I think this year's going to be much better. Fortville just had a summer fest, and I mean there were thousands of people out there. I mean it was bumping. So I think the Kause is going to have a great turnout.
Yep.
Like I said, August 27th, it's at Landmark Park. That's in Fortville, Indiana. It's noon to 10, so we're kind of scrunching it down.
Yep.
Okay.
That hurts my heart. My body loves it, but
You're still going to be there from
with
8
my
a.m. to.
you're not lying. But I miss Friday music starting at like 6.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
not stopping until Sunday at 2, 3 a.m.
Yep.
I miss those days.
Yeah, I mean,
24 bands.
because I missed that. You know, I was kind of bummed that because we went that first year when you were at what was that?
The park.
The park. What was the first park?
The Legion.
Legion
yeah,
Park.
yeah.
Yeah, because you guys had like camping there too,
Yeah.
and we were all prepped and ready for the next year. We're like, all right, we're gonna have a grill because Jordan worked at Cabela's. We were gonna get Cabela's to sponsor it. We were gonna have a big old grill, a couple tents, and we were gonna stay there all weekend because why the hell not?
Right.
And then it didn't happen. I miss the camping part.
Yeah, me
I
too.
kind of wanted to see that because
A lot of people
that
do.
seemed like a lot of fun for the families.
It
Yeah.
was.
The 4P minus families.
It did, yeah. I mean,
a little
some of them
extra
took
time to be there,
Right.
a little extra time to
It was a
bond
full
and all
weekend.
that.
It was a
Right.
full weekend.
Yeah.
Of,
Do you guys? Do they still come in? Some of the families, and do they go camp somewhere and kind of hang together? Do you guys?
we had one come in from California last year. They just Airbnb'd.
Okay.
But there was one right next to the park.
Okay.
Like looking at the park, there was an Airbnb. And she's
Okay.
like, "Oh, that's perfect."
Oh, nice.
So they walked.
I'm guessing they don't allow any camping at this park or anything like the Legion thing did.
They said we could because we set up the day before now.
Well, for you, yeah. I meant for like the family thing.
Not
You
really,
can't do that.
yeah.
That's a bummer.
And some of them took advantage, but most went back to the hotel
Yeah.
with their kids. They needed a
Okay.
temperature controlled environment and stuff
Yeah.
like
Gotcha.
that.
True.
But the concert goers, the people.
Oh
that,
yeah.
that was a blast,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Being out there at the campgrounds, we were our own police. We had our
Yep.
own rules, and
Yep.
it's like Lord of the Flies out there.
Yeah, but it's a good crowd and it's good, so it's just a fun atmosphere every year.
Yeah,
so.
it is.
Well, you
It's
feel
a
better
good-
too when people are out there drinking all day.
Yeah,
You feel better knowing they're just going to stumble back
yeah,
to their tent
absolutely.
Right.
and
Yep.
go to sleep. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That
Yeah,
kind of made you feel a little bit better about
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I miss it, but we're
Yeah.
getting older. It's that Legion Park is now sold.
was it?
Green Township
Damn.
owns it. So,
Wow.
and they use it primarily for like Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Is what they use it for now. I think a church rents it out every Sunday, like the shelter, to do their thing.
Cool.
But yeah, there's like no booze, no. No
Yeah, I
nothing
mean, I
going
remember
on.
that was
Yeah.
that was some of the weird things I had to move and
Yeah.
yeah.
They're like, we'd love to have you guys come back. I'm like, all your signs say otherwise. Everything
No,
you
you
say we
wouldn't.
can't do, we
Liar.
want to do.
Right? Yeah. It's like, no, yeah, it's not really profitable when we can't do some of this stuff and that
Right.
stuff. Right? Yeah.
But they've let that infield like grow to like be like a true meadow. You know what I
Oh.
mean? So there's like,
reclaiming
habitation.
nature.
Exactly. So it's a whole thing. We would have to destroy everything they've created, and I wouldn't.
Yeah,
wanna
we
do
won't.
that.
No, we don't do that now. No.
So now it's Fortville. Yeah,
Well, no, that's
we keep
okay.
it right in the heart of Fortville. The good part about that is people just walk to it.
Sure.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? All of our traffic that we got was just locals, just walking over. They hear the music,
Yeah.
and
Walking, biking, whatever. Yeah.
and you come right in there. We got everything set up pretty well. Like I said, we're gonna have a silent auction. We got some really cool shit in the silent auction this year. You guys you like video games, yes?
Sure.
So we've
Old.
got a stand up arcade unit from Family Leisure.
Cool.
So Kevin hooked us up this year, and it's a 2-player, 4,000 games on it,
Nice.
$3,800 machine.
Yep.
Cus-
Run by
custom Cammy's
run by a
calls-
Raspberry Pi 4.
Right, which is what I have in mind at home. Yep,
See, custom Kammy's Kause is
wrap on it.
no.
nice.
That's cool.
It'll be a 1-on-1.
Nice.
We got a brand new Steva ping pong table that'll have a custom Cammy's Cause wrap on the top of it. 1-of-1. So I mean that's like a $700 table
Yeah.
plus with the wrap on it. Picked up some stuff today, man, from one of the Susan Bear, Ryan Bear's mom. He's 4P minus kiddo. Actually, he's a man. He's in his 20s, but like full diving suit.
Oh, really?
Everything. Some Canon binoculars that are $1,500.
What do you mean full diving suit?
Like the whole vest with the
okay, because
everything.
I'm
flippers.
picturing the big metal.
I
I'm
knew
picturing-
it. I knew you were thinking that.
I'm
The old
picturing the
school
big
one?
metal
Yeah,
helmet because
I know.
I'm picturing the big metal helmet with the
He's like-
and
I can just I can see it in his brain. I knew he was thinking of a big thing with a big helmet. And I'm like, no, Pat, no, it's not that.
A modern one. Modern. Not the wetsuit, but just like that, the whole vest where the tank gets strapped in. And but
I
we've
can
never
see
had
his eyes
something like
light
that
up.
before.
I'm like, oh, shit.
My wife again put together the kids wish list on Amazon, and then people from all over we'll just purchase a couple of those items. So then she
Yep.
puts them together as baskets.
Sure.
Those are always a huge hit.
Sure.
Can you can
Are
you
you-
auction can you bid if you're not there? Can you go on? I don't know if they have it online or anything.
Some of our items this year we think are pretty niche. Like my buddy Ryan Snyder, he works in liquor sales.
Mm-hmm.
He has this bourbon package that's super rare, and it goes for
Done.
like $600-700 out the box.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So something like that, something like some of these more, like I said, niche items.
Yeah.
We are going to put on eBay.
Okay.
Okay.
Leading up to the event,
Right.
and then it'll close down during the event.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That's a
So
good idea.
those will
Yeah.
have like QR codes in the auction where you can just go boom and you're right to the
Okay.
eBay site to bid on them.
Yeah, that's good.
So some of those things, yeah. Other things, I like to keep it like it's I don't know, it's one of the perks of going.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you got to be here to
Well,
win
you're not-
this.
You're trying to do an event that involves people, not just sell shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you wanted to, you just throw it all online and
Right.
people don't have to attend, and you still get your money. But that's not what you're trying to do.
No, I'm trying to
The
bring
4P
people
minus.
together.
Thank
right.
you.
Right.
We want to
Yes,
make people
yes.
aware.
It's
and
interactive, and then make them see, because you want them to see the kids too. That they're regular kids.
It changes
they got a
people's
problem.
perspective.
Yeah, exactly. You don't. If just throwing money online is great. Yeah, you get money for your cause, but do you get awareness for your cause?
Right.
When people are just
And not so
pushing.
much.
Exactly. So that's a good way to, and you're splitting the difference.
Right.
Get a little bit extra, but still try to get people there for some of the other stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Neat one there. Yeah, it's cool. The kids, it's always cool because they're like rock stars that day.
Right.
100%.
Oh,
It
that's
is cool.
that's
And
the
you
cool
can tell,
part. You
I
want to,
mean,
yeah.
You see
Tammy's
people getting
always-
pictures with them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
it's just-
bands
Right.
and
Getting them up on
stuff.
stage.
That's what I remember that first year we went when it was the camping one too.
Uh-huh.
The kids just looked like they were having a fucking blast.
Yeah, they do. They love. They know it's their day too.
Right?
Yeah.
They're just like,
Especially Cam.
Yeah.
Cam's like, oh, this is my day.
Yeah. Yep.
She's like, I'm about
Yeah.
to.
She strolls through the crowd like it's like the
Right.
Pope.
Yeah.
They would,
Guys,
and
need
it's
to get her
great.
need to get her a big hat and a scepter and just
A robe.
she's the queen of Cammy's cause. She
She
can
is.
walk down like she is.
Uh huh.
Well, let's talk about Kammy a little bit. And I mean, why we do Cammy's cause, and this is how many years now? 18.
This will be
is
18.
the 18th. Right? Wow.
18th
Wow.
one, man. I know.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
And we missed a year, so this should have been the 19th.
Right,
Right.
right.
So, yeah. So Kammy is my daughter. Camden is her full name. But she has a really rare chromosome disorder called 4P minus, as you guys know. And there's just no really funding or research or kind of anybody helping out there in the world for this specific syndrome. So that's what we started doing, 19 years ago. 2004 is when we started. And to date, we've raised over $500,000. That's gone to the 4P minus support group. Now it's a 501c3, and they've got a couple hundred people in their membership. They fund biannual national conferences. They fund research programs. They have hardship funds. They have travel funds for these conferences. Everything that we've been able to give them money for, they're able to use in these different areas and help all these families out. So
Awesome.
And then didn't it bring some of the doctors together here for the first time?
yeah,
too, right?
that was in DC, like maybe 2008, I
Right.
think is when that was. But basically, the money that we raised was used to charter their flights and
Right.
their hotel
Sure.
stays, and brought them in
That's
from
amazing. I mean,
five,
people
6
never
different
talk to
countries.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they had never communicated before, talked
Yeah.
to each other, but they each specialized in 4P minus in their own
Cool.
countries and got to share data together. That was that was groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it was like, guys, we did that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, look at.
I mean, that's
some cool
amazing.
shit,
It really
you know?
is. That's great.
So
What
we
was-
just keep going, man. We keep raising this money. We keep providing it to the 4P minus support group. We're getting older. We're getting smarter. We're reducing cost in everywhere we can. So putting it on
Sure.
doesn't cost us as
Right.
much with those sponsor dollars. I mean, right now, what it's going to cost us to put it on, we've almost doubled in sponsor dollars, and this event hasn't even started.
Nice.
So
Wow. That's great.
we might actually start this year fully in the black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the future
Wow.
black.
Right,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and be able just to pile on top of it during
Yep.
the cost. And that's what we need after last
Sure.
year.
Yeah.
Last year was kind of like a 50-50. It cost just as much as it did to,
Right.
to raise that much.
Yep.
And inflation happened and all
Yep.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Cost of
Yep.
everything went through the roof. It was
Yep.
it was rough, man.
Yep.
We've kind of offset for it now a little bit, but still, people are always in a giving mood, and we appreciate them for that. And I got a group of people that are helping us. With my board especially. With like Ryan Snyder and Aaliyah Wade and Tracy Snyder and Matt Sharp and Robbie Kendrick, and the group of us. These people come to my garage You know, it's about to be every single week now. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
Yeah.
we've been meeting multiple times a month.
We don't get to go to the garage.
You can. You have an open invite.
Never been invited. We've never been invited to the garage.
Brendan, I'm going to need you to go back to the beginning of
I
this
was gonna say-
conversation
Oh, is
and
there-
play this
yeah.
back to
Oh,
Pat.
okay.
Is,
Yeah,
is there a messenger thread where we did get invited and you didn't take him up on
just
it?
Like
this
15 minutes
conversation.
ago.
Welcome to the podcast,
No,
Pat.
I remember we got invited now. I mean, like, we never got invited before.
All right. Fair enough.
I'm aware of this conversation.
Fair enough.
You want to do it in person. You know?
Oh, okay. I
It
got
means more.
But no, we're definitely going to
Like we just said, I could have done it online. You could have clicked a
See?
button, and
Right.
where
Yeah.
was the connection?
Right.
I could have just done it. I could have just
Well,
attended.
obviously the connection wasn't there either.
Actually, I could have just apparently I
Before we
could
went
just
over
attend a Zoom call into your garage too, but
Could have. Old Slim
but only
Danny's.
if I got enough money and some dice.
I had the dice.
Oh, okay.
You just had to send me money.
But it's great talking to everybody there too, because it's not like, you know, even especially that first one, you know, that 3-day, those guys were working their asses off.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was a lot of work, and I mean, it was like they were on cloud 9 the whole time.
Yeah.
But just because of what they were doing, and then everybody believing in what they were doing, and the event is so just different, and the atmosphere is so cool and uplifting, and you can see it in everybody there. You know, even the people there in the crowd, but the people working and doing the stuff for you and are there because they wanted. You know, so I mean that speaks a lot about you too. I mean, you know, the reflection you have in the town and the community and music community, and you know, so it's amazing.
Yep.
And 18 years. I mean, it's only been 18 years. That's minute, and look how much is, you know, happening.
Right.
It's a lot, and it's amazing because what I think
Well-
it was only in discovered in like late
67.
60s, 67.
Yeah.
Well, but also,
I mean,
I'm trying to figure out, make sure this doesn't sound right and wrong. Correct me if it does. It's a niche. And that's not putting a
No, it
wrong
is.
word on it. It's a very
Rare.
rare thing, but to do that much for it and to have it going on
Right.
for 18 years is impressive.
And it's a very, it's a
know.
very specific thing that
Right.
we're going after. You know what I mean? Like you raise money for
It's not like cancer
There's-
research.
There's all different types of cancer,
Right.
right? But like this is, we're honed in on one very specific
Right.
part of one tiny piece of your chromosome in your
Right.
body. Like that's how detailed we are with our mission. And that's cool. And we want to branch out into other areas. You know what I mean? We want to do more events and be able
Sure.
to raise money for other organizations as
Right.
well that we believe in. There's a lot of them out there that
Yeah.
we do believe in. So until we get to that point, you know, we always invite those places to have a booth at our event too.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's free of charge, and come out here and let people know what you're doing. And so we try to take this stage that we've been given and that we've helped create and share it with as many people as we possibly can.
Right.
You know, bring them up with you. You know, when you grow and you bring everybody up with you. when you grow.
Exactly.
You never know what, I mean, you know, going after, you know, because there hasn't been the research involved, because it's such a rare, you don't know what can come out of this now that research is getting, what other avenues
Right.
can come of this
Right.
if they start discovering things. It's, you know, you never know. It's just amazing. You know, one little thing can lead to a million just huge breakthroughs. You never, you know, it's, I mean, that's
100%.
where, you know,
Hopefully.
that's how stuff happens. I mean, it's just,
Well,
Right.
now you're at the point where, all right, so to rewind back to, 2001 when Cam was born, it was a piece of paper printed off the internet. That's all they had. You know what I mean? It might have been from a file. I don't know where
Right.
they got it from, but it was like, this is all we know. And now you go in there and you Google 4P minus.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to get the support group. You're going to
Yeah.
get Wolf Hirschhorn support group. You're going to get Cammy's Cause. I mean, right off the gate, you're just going to be like, boom, 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 all this information. It's like, oh,
Sure.
they know about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can learn about this. Whereas before it was
You're not alone.
shooting from the hip, man, just kind of,
Yeah.
kind of picking up pieces as you go along. And you're like, okay, well, that didn't work. And like, oh, shit, got to watch out for that. And pass that information along
Sure.
to all the other families and give them a heads up. And they would do the same.
One of those rare benefits of the internet that hasn't gone into dark and horrible places.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Those,
One
well,
of
I
the-
mean, because that's what the internet.
pure-
Remember, that's what the internet was really supposed to be for. We can all share this stuff.
Yeah.
And then human nature came in and fucked it all up.
100%.
Yeah.
Like we do everything.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
you go into it with the best of intentions. Of, this is going to be awesome, and I mean, we're going to be able to. I can talk to somebody from across the country, and then it's just trolls and dickheads.
Your mom's a whore.
yeah. Great.
Get some unsoliciteds popping up.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
want to
like,
see
just
this.
You go into it with the best idea that people are generally good, and a lot of times
No,
they are.
now you just get
And that's those, taking it to a weird dark place. But that's the benefit of the internet was though
Yeah.
that you can find those groups and you can get together and you can expand your knowledge. And may not be any answers, but at least you can share it, and you're not alone with dealing with it on your own. You know,
Right. And like when we did it, like the internet consisted of, when we talked to these families, an email chain. You just had a database of everybody's emails, and you would type up yours and then just select everybody and hit send, and then just wait for people to email you back. I mean, that was when Cam was born. That's what we were kind of dealing with. So,
Wow.
come a long way, and we're happy to support the support group and be a fundraiser for them. They've been able to do a lot of good in the world and a lot of good for these families, and we couldn't be more proud of the people that we raise money for to help and support. We're fortunate enough to be able to do it 18 years now running. Not a lot of things last that long, I think. But I think that's also, maybe turning the heads of some of these companies, and maybe why we're sitting in such a good spot where we are this year, sponsor-wise, is because they're like, man, shit, these guys have been doing it for 18 years. Like, that's
right. It's not a
they're
new
doing
thing.
sustainable.
Yeah. It's you've proven longevity to your project.
Yeah. And
So-
we've had sponsors that I've actually had meetings with, sit downs, and they're like, listen, so we get hit up all the time for X, Y, and Z. Every day. Multiple calls. Right. Can you give us this? Can you give us this? We're doing this. Like, we had to make the decision to support one local and one national charity.
Right.
And we chose you guys for our local. Like, so what can we do? I've had that conversation with 3-4 different people, and it's like, okay.
Sweet.
Well, thank you very much. You know what I mean? Like, shake your hand real quick, but that's kind of cool. So I think what we're building, people believe in. I think that's why they keep coming back. Why, like you said, my friends and my family that help run this entire thing, why they keep coming back year after year. Now, we are getting to the point where it's like, they're like, Jared, how old are your kids? Like, are they ready to step in and start taking some shifts? Like, they seem old enough. Like, we got people taking this over for us. Like, we're hitting 40s, man. We're getting old.
Yeah, start breeding some replacement.
Well, you guys got kids too, man.
They don't. No. A couple, but most no.
Maybe the next generation's turn, man. We're getting old.
No, they're all leaning on me and my family.
Yeah, because I heard you almost killed yourself sneezing the other day. That's
single sneeze.
You are getting old.
Single sneeze.
Don't sneeze on August 27th.
No. You'll hear me cry. I've had like 4 sneezes since Thursday, and every one.
Yeah, I just scared
Holding on to everything. I blew my back out with a sneeze on Thursday. And
That's
me.
when you know you're getting old.
It was horrible.
When you're like, I slept wrong. No, did you sleep wrong? No, I sneezed. How'd you break your arm? I sneezed.
Hit the tub on the way down.
Yeah, right. How'd you break your ribs? I
Who
sneezed.
punched your face? The bathtub. After a sneeze.
Yep. It's, I know that feeling.
But yeah, just can I talk about some of these sponsors?
Well,
while
I was
I'm,
gonna
like,
say, let's
bragging
take
on
a
them?
break real quick.
Yeah, let's take a
We'll
quick
come
break,
back.
then we'll come back, talk about sponsors and bands, and
And
get a bumper
make
on
fun
here.
of you some more.
yeah.
I love it.
Okay, back in a flash. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, this is Jim Boris from the Backstep Brewing Company in beautiful downtown Crawfordsville, and you are listening to Blind Pig Confessions.
Hey guys, join us at Kammy's Cause this year. It's August 27th. It's at Landmark Park in Fortville, Indiana. We got 11 bands. We got an auction. We got a kid zone. We got a bunch of food vendors. We got beer and wine vendors. It's completely free in Fortville, Indiana on August 27th. You can get more details at kammyscause.org. That's KAMMYSKAUSE.org. Check it out.
Blind Pig Confessions is the greatest podcast there ever was. My name is Dave Smiley from WZPL, and if you don't listen to this show, you're dumb.
Seen my bank account.
Help
Come
me
on,
out.
right?
You ain't lying.
Hey.
All right, are we back?
Oh yeah.
Oh, damn. Who knows when you started that?
Who knows?
Cheers. All right. Back with Jared Heiner from Cammy's Cause.
Yeah.
Cracked open another brew.
Yeah, what's this one?
Two. I don't know.
So
Don't tell us the
If you
ingredients.
have anything from Anchorage,
this is the
this-
best
this
fucking
one's
brewery in the country right now in my
Definitely
brain.
one of them, man.
Anchorage?
Oh, my
Anchorage.
God.
Are they from Alaska?
Yes.
Okay.
And amazing. And I was getting stouts,
Just
but
tell
then we
people.
started getting some other IPAs and
It don't
everything
matter.
they
It
make
does not
is
fucking
just
matter what they make.
fantastic.
Home run, everyone.
I don't know what they're doing up there with the using snow or whatever the hell they're fucking doing. Elk meat. I don't know, but I'd drink anything from them.
Okay.
They give me an elk meat beer.
Probably,
I would probably drink
antler
that.
juice.
Right? Something they're
Moose
doing.
juice.
Yeah.
But they're
There's
not-
Moose Drool. There's a beer.
Maybe like moose glands.
Do they have a
Maybe
moose?
they
They have a
milk the
moose drool
glands.
beer? Really?
There is a Moose Drool bill.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's not. I think that's Alaskan Brewing Company.
Alaskan
but it's
Bush
actually
Company.
good beer.
Alaskan Bush Company. I don't want any drool from Alaskan Bush.
You'd be surprised. It's well preserved.
No, but yeah, we've sang Anchorage's praises for like
I just
3
think,
years
even
now.
When we get a beer that's just good, we're like,
Holy shit!
I mean, it on top of anybody else's, but if it's just good from Anchorage, it's odd that this is a good beer, but it's superior than anything else you're drinking. I don't know.
So I don't drink coffee, but is there a coffee?
I believe there is.
This is
coffee
your
and
oat
Tanish-
stout finished
is
on
it-
coffee,
or
Tahitian vanilla beans, cinnamon, and milk sugars.
I got the coffee part right.
Mm-hmm.
I told
is
you
the-
we
this
got,
is
we
the
got better
happy
at
al-
that beer
Yeah.
guessing game.
This is the Happy Alone, and their artwork on their cans is fucking
Great.
awesome too.
And
That was cool. That caught my eye.
the only
First
thing
thing.
for taking photos though, I gotta get.
It's all wrapped
Yeah, it's
around.
wrapped,
Yeah,
sure.
you gotta
But
you gotta
gotta find
basically
what-
do the what's the when you pan
Yeah.
the pan,
Yeah.
but you just need to twist the can.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just get a couple.
Hey, props to art by Massive Face is what this says
That's
on
what
the
it
can.
says. Yep.
Massive Face. So
Massive
props to
Face.
you on the artwork, man.
Yeah, amazing artwork.
Or-
and
Her.
that's wrapping around.
Could
some
be,
just
yep.
great beer, man.
It's fucking spectacular.
So we're gonna try and do a trip out there,
Okay.
hopefully in maybe the spring of 23.
Yeah, I don't want to go in the winter.
I got an old.
It'll be cheaper in the winter.
Yeah.
I got an old acquaintance that went that way to dodge the law, and
Really?
I've
Oh.
been up there ever since.
Yeah.
All right, hook us up.
Productive member of society, from what I can tell. But
All right.
yeah, he had to go though. He had to go.
Yeah.
Heat was getting a little too hot.
Yeah.
Had to
yeah.
go.
So yeah,
Well, if
sometimes
if the heat's getting hot, you go to the coldest place you can find, I guess. Holy crap, that is
Happy
coffee.
Alone Oat
That is
Stout.
coffee spectacularness. What the
and it'll
fuck?
it'll come out. Let it sit for a little bit, and it'll come out even
Yeah.
more in a few minutes. Because I just opened this out of the
That's
fridge,
too,
so
a little too cold.
a
Let it
couple
breathe.
minutes you're really gonna start. It's gonna get even more complex. And
So you're supposed to drink stouts more, kind of like room temp,
Not
not
room,
you know.
slightly lower.
yeah,
but not fridge temp.
Okay.
You
don't want a cold
lose-
craft beer.
You do not want an ice cold stout.
Okay, all right.
You don't serve stout a heavy stout like this in a frosty fucking mug.
Okay,
Don't.
okay.
It's like a red wine. You need to warm. It needs a little bit of time to warm up just a bit.
Yeah,
Above.
you take it 5-10 minutes, and then you want 56 degrees, right in
Yeah.
there, and it's usually perfect. And you can really tell a difference when you drink.
You
Get a
get
cold one. and
so
then-
more of the aromas. You get so more of everything. The taste just
When it's
meld
cold,
the
that
whole
kind
lot.
of just kind of blasts your taste buds at first, and
Yeah,
the
just-
cold
yep, just-
overrides the,
yep.
the palate. Huh?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
It's heavy stouts, imperials, milk stouts, oat stouts.
I think English ales and maltier beers. I think I like a little bit
Colder?
a little bit warmer out of the.
Well, yeah, like
warm.
an English
not warm,
bitter.
but-
You don't want it ice cold either. You lose something from the bitter. You lose
No,
a
lager
lot of it.
cold. Lager,
Lagers, pilsners, ice fucking cold, no
Right.
well,
problem.
not ice cold.
Well,
anything ice
but
cold.
a frosty mug is
Yeah.
okay with a pilsner and a lager. You're keeping it in that because there's not as much aroma as you're getting off of those. That's much more hot profile and just some of the other mechanics of how the beer works. This you will get so much more coffee flavor. You get so much more vanilla flavor. Things will pop. So much different.
Pop. Are you a beer or a bourbon aficionado? I think we've talked about this before.
Not
but
at
you're
all.
I mean, just
No, I'm
you
usually
just-
straight down the fucking lane. Like
Yeah.
Miller Lite, get a case of, you know what I mean? It's just a kind of a social thing.
Yeah.
I
you
think
know,
the first few
whiskey.
times you're on, you really hadn't drank much craft beer really at all. I mean,
No,
You're
I
just drinking,
try. I went
you know?
through that phase where it
Yeah,
was like, let me get
yeah,
craft. Like,
yeah.
I want my beers
Sure.
like my women, nothing below a 9. You know what I mean? Like, let me get in that world for a minute. And so, yeah, I would drink those. I was kidding, by the way.
Yeah. Whatever.
But yeah, it just got back to, like I said, the Kentucky bourbon barrel
Mm-hmm.
ale. You know what I mean? Like, some of those, especially the local Taxmans, we got a Taxman in
local.
Fort Bill
fuck
now.
yeah.
yeah.
So you get a Taxman, you get a pale ale, you
Yep.
get something
There you
like
go.
that.
Perfect.
It's- So I'm all day about those things, but usually it's just like I'm going to get a case because I'm going to drink 12 beers with
Yeah.
my buddies tonight.
Yeah.
Sure.
And if I want to stand at the end of it, then
Exact-
I'm going to
yeah.
keep it
Yeah.
with these Miller Lights. If I want to go pee
gonna
myself,
drink
and
12
those
8%.
those give you distance.
yes, it's
yes.
marathon
Right.
beers
Exactly.
versus, and when I drink, I drink. You know what I mean? I want to continue to drink. And,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
that,
be able
that
to
helps
drink
me do
for,
that
yes,
without.
for more than 2 hours before I'm on my face.
I drink 12 Miller Lights and I'm not, but I'll
Right.
be like, I'm sober.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I can go ride a bicycle. I can't, but I feel like you can. You know what I
Right,
mean?
well,
Whereas
yeah.
12 of these, and I'm gonna
Four of
probably
these.
not.
Four of these. you'd
4 of
be
these, I don't know where I'm
gone.
at. Yeah.
It's like
So-
it's like getting dragon milk, dragon milk on stout, on tap, and you're just barreling through them.
Yeah, when people
Bad
just
idea.
start out, they don't realize those couple percentages in
They
alcohol
make a
volume
big ass. We're
is-
pros, and they make a
you know.
big ass difference.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I will be drinking. There's been a couple times where drinking all night with my pool league, and I'm drinking just Bacardi, not Bacardi, rum and just some whiskey and Coke or something, I'm just for the night, and it's just simple, it's easy. Those don't affect me, but then we'll go back to like my garage for garage beers afterwards, and I'm busting open a couple stouts because I'm sampling,
Oh, yeah.
giving other people
Yeah.
a chance to sample.
Yes.
Yeah, not
And,
chugging down at
and
12%.
three, and I'm drinking a quarter of the beer as everybody else is sampling, and then all this, but there's 17, 10, 12, 17 percenters, and then all of a sudden I'm screwed and I'm out. I was perfectly fine. I don't think people, it seems so weird that some of these heavy beers can hit you more than a bourbon can.
Yeah.
For some
You're
reason.
100%. I think it's more of a wine tasting to me. Like it's not someone want to pound, I mean, like try to pound a
Right.
6-pack. I want to have like one or two and like
Yeah.
really enjoy them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're still sneaky. Even the samplings
Very
are
sneaky.
super sneaky.
Yeah.
So one that got me was a Three Floyds. It was the Arctic Panzer Wolf. Loved
I
it.
haven't had that one.
Very hard to come by.
Yeah. So
And they had it on tap. I was like, I forget where I was. I was out of town though for work.
Yeah.
Staying in a hotel. There was one of those restaurants. My wife used to work for one. Son of a gun. Anyways,
Chili bees.
no. But they always had a burger special on
Apple
Tuesdays.
Donald's. Apple Donald's.
But they had it on tap there, and I'm like, all right, let me get that Panzer Wolf. And it was, I forget what the percentage was on it. It was up there in the teens, I think. And
Yeah.
I remember that
you
beer. I
just
can't remember what
burn
it was.
right through them, man.
Right?
Like, it's nothing because it was almost like an ale.
Yeah.
So,
Some of those are super sneaky when they don't taste like boozy.
Yeah.
Bro, I got
Yeah.
out of that bar stool after like my third one and just about made a fool of
Right.
myself on night one. I'm about to be here for a week, bellying up at this bar, and I take first step, and it was about lights
my
out
legs?
for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't
Hell
find
yeah.
them.
We've seen that at places that do like the had like the KBS on tap. They're serving them in like 16-ounce pint glasses, not little 10-ounce sniffers. You should be selling it for twice the price. 16-ounce, like $4 for a giant freaking pint. People that don't know what they're doing,
Yeah,
like
it's when you get
an
your
hour
money's
later. Yeah, the customer gets their money's worth.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
The owner, the person who got the keg is getting them screwing themselves.
Ryan called me from some just a hole in the wall dive bar up in South Bend.
Oh, yeah?
in Mishawaka somewhere, and they went home with them. I mean, they were for a football game or something. It was a night game though, I think. And he's like, "Yeah, get up here." I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna."
Yeah, it's a 3-hour drive. Sure, I'll be right there.
South Bend, but he goes, "They have frickin' it was KBS on tap." And they were serving him. They were giving them to him in the frickin', the giant.
The
whatever
24, 30
20 or
tugs?
the
big,
the great big,
the
frickin',
great big Miller Light mugs.
Yes.
Oh, like we used to get
I'm
at
like,
Claude's
Yeah.
for
yeah.
$1.
I'm like, "Are you shitting me?" He's like, and he couldn't believe it. He's like,
64 ounces of
he's
freaking
like, yeah, I'm
KBS.
like Ryan, just because they're serving him there doesn't mean you.
You don't have to drink them all.
But he did.
But it's,
And
I
I heard from like once again, and
Never again,
and
yeah.
he got carried home.
you got to say, if they're willing to sell it at that price for that much, I
have it.
kind of got to take advantage of
Yeah.
it at that point.
I mean, it was a little more commercial, but I don't know, it's 21, 22, right there at Keystone at the Crossing. It was either Fridays or Chili's. Mm-hmm. But like on one of the weeknights, I think it was $1 Killian's, like
Oh,
Killian's
shit,
Red,
yeah.
and they were 16-ounce boys. And so I'd go in there with $10 in my
Say-
pocket.
what?
Yes, get myself 3-4 beers, be able to tip, and it was trivia night too. So
Oh,
we would
shit.
go in there and just get wrecked on. It was either Newcastle or Killian's, one of the two, but it was $1 16-ounce.
Holy
drinks.
crap.
And we would just go there and get murdered off of those.
Yeah, I remember those. I remember those days.
It was fun.
Back when people were, didn't know. I remember back when you used to have like penny night,
Yeah,
Music
yeah.
Mill. Music Mill used to have penny beer night. Remember Music Mill at 86
wasn't-
in Keystone?
I wasn't
never
here
wa-
then.
Yeah, it was,
Used to be a cool venue.
Yeah.
They had a whole
never
restaurant,
been in
bar
there.
on one side,
Yeah.
and the music venue. Like I saw Citizen Cope there. That was a dope show. There were several musicians that I saw there, kind of like the up and coming. It was like a Birdies. You know what I mean? It was-
Because it seemed like
was a
cool
national
place, and
act.
Just kind of
Yeah.
I don't know why they
I don't know
didn't
what
succeed.
I don't know what happened to that. Yeah.
Maybe location or whatever, but they would have penny beer nights, and I'd go in there, and my buddy was at waiter there, and I'd go in and just being an asshole. round on me.
Right.
There's 30 people in there. I'm like, was that 30 cents? Here we go.
I did several bar openings out in Arizona back when I was DJing, and they'd have, because they couldn't do free beer, but it was penny beer. But then all the tables just had fucking pennies on them. They had or baskets of pennies like you would peanuts. So it was just, that's how they got around them. And every one of those openings, I'm like, this is a bad idea, guys.
Here we go.
At least charge like $1 or something, because people are stupid and don't just, come on, man. I know you want to get everybody here,
Right.
but that don't mean you're going to get them here the next week. The venue ain't that cool, but okay.
Or whatever you have to fix after this is going to be
Right,
worth the money that you
there's
lost
a
out
lot.
on.
Yeah, you're gonna have to repair a few things after you've just given everybody free fucking drinks all night long.
Yeah. Do you guys remember Locals Only?
Yeah,
That spot
yeah.
right by Mousetrap?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
That was, I loved it. Dave Kaiser used to run that place, man. I love Dave with all my heart. Breakdown Kings play there all the time. That place was a piece of shit, right? Like on the inside, like you love going there, and it was good. But like that men's urinal was never in service for like the 6 years that I played music there. That urinal was not once in service. I drove by it the other day for the first time in forever. They cut that whole thing out, that whole corner section out of that strip mall that made like an L.
Really?
It had to have been that bad, right? For them to be
Wow.
like, it's cheaper for us to remove this completely than to fix it. Because it sat empty forever after
Holy
Dave
shit.
sold it.
You had to exercise the dead the demons and there's just nothing you could clean.
It
and
was
just
like
bulldoze that shit out and
Wow.
Like removing a
surgically
mole.
removing cancer out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Surgically. And it was just missing because I was thinking about that. I'm like,
Well, there's a
dude,
hole there. What the hell?
it'd be kind of cool to buy a place like that and kind of bring back the music that used to live there.
Yep.
Sure.
And that was in my brain as I'm driving up, and I'm like, they cut the whole thing out. I was like,
They excise that some
Done.
bitch out.
damn. I love that spot though. Locals Only was the shit. That was one of the best venues I ever played at.
Oh, nice.
Well, so talking about playing in the Breakdown Kings, are you? Do you guys still play? You going to play this year? Do you guys not? Okay, I didn't
We
know if
haven't
you guys.
for years. I got an album. I'm sitting on an album. It's my fault.
What?
I'm sitting on a Breakdown Kings album that's
What?
not been released.
Really?
How long? Because I
not
thought we were
done.
talking about this
It's
before.
been 6 years since
Well,
we started
apparently
the
it's
album.
done because you're not doing anything.
It's,
Just call it. I mean, you can do you can call it something, I mean, hell, the Beatles are still putting shit out that wasn't done.
I mean, it's true. I could give them exactly as it sits right now, and I think overall it's fantastic. But there's there's little things that are missing. You know what I mean? But
Like vocals, guitars.
there certain vocals on certain parts, yeah, they're not in there, and they need to be. You know what I mean? For it to be like a complete song. But it's
like a 30-minute dead spot.
but check this out. So I go to that same studio to do JSP tracks, right, with my buddy Mikey, and we made that whole JSP album. And I'm sitting in there, and there's a co-engineer sitting in there that I'd never met before, ever. And when I'm in there, I said, hey, Bone, I want to come back and finish off that Breakdown Kings album. And this co-engineer starts laughing in his chair. And I look at him, and he looks at Bone, and he goes, right? And I'm like, so he even knows? And he goes, bro, he even knows. Like,
damn.
you're never going to finish the album, man. Like, what? You keep
Damn.
talking about it, and you never.
Ouch.
So this guy I never met was in on the joke. But I have to finish it, man. I have to finish it. So there's going to be a Breakdown Kings album that I release. So here's what I'm thinking, though, now that you brought that up. This is year 18. Next year will be year 19. So 2024 will be year 20.
Breakdown
about
Kings
that.
reunion.
I think I'm going to do year 20, one last hurrah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start with a set that's original State of Mind,
Yeah.
my first band, and then go into Breakdown Kings, and then go into some JSP, and then go into Me and Mine, and just do all 4 of those ventures that I've gone throughout my life with music, and just have like one final goodbye.
Jam.
I'm never going to be on this stage playing music again. I did it for 16 years straight,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to do it anymore. This is my last goodbye. So I think I'm going to bring Breakdown Kings back. Just for that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which would be kind of cool. It might be like
Yeah.
3-4 songs, 5
Yeah,
songs, something
yeah,
like that.
just-
But but I miss it, man. I feel like that was some of the best music that I've been a part of. Just I don't know, man. That was a good group. It was good vibes. But I do got some tracks, man, that people haven't heard yet. Like us doing like a 7-minute song. You know
Well,
what I mean?
that's-
Like getting deep on some stuff and like just saying, you know what, why
just
not?
send it. We'll put it on this show.
Yeah.
All right.
That break we
That's what we try and do. Put on local music on the ends of stuff, and
if you want to let it out, we'll let it out.
yeah, because we use stuff from like
Okay.
It'll get to 4. It'll get to 4 people, but
Yeah. It'll be out there though. There are some that are done. You know what I mean? There's just not all of them.
if you want to send
then-
one out, we'll put it on this one.
I think we had like 5 or 6 brand new tracks,
Yeah.
and then we took 5 from our first album. First album we did, it was made to sound like a studio album. Where, as at that time, we were more of a live band.
Right.
We sounded better live, I think, than we did in a studio. And so it was trying to capture that, and it kind of missed the mark. Everybody wasn't satisfied with it. But so all these years later, it was like, all right, let's take some of those tracks that we felt could have been bangers, and let's just juice the shit out of them. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
we're not going to play live ever again. We don't have to replicate this sound.
Right.
Let's use
Yeah.
computers to our advantage
Yeah.
for once and not have it be a true organic sound coming from us. Let's put in some filters. Let's do some cool shit with what we can have at our fingertips. And that's what this album has been. It's much more experimental. And like I said, we got, a 6-minute and 45-second song.
Cool.
And a couple of those, man. I mean, like over 5 minutes. Yeah, this is really good.
It's
Holy
delicious.
crap! Now,
Yeah.
no, it warmed up.
Yeah.
I don't
it's
know about
delicious.
you. It's a reminder of that Taxman Mexican spice cake at this point as it warmed up. I get a little bit, and it's just me, I'm getting a little bit of not pepper heat, but just a little bit of a bite on the back end of
I don't know if
this.
it's bite. I maybe that Tahitian vanilla or that's
Something
coming
is
through or something,
something's
but
something's got a little bit
and
of
I
a
think
peppery bite on the
and
back
it's got
end.
cinnamon and
Then maybe that's it. I'm getting more of the cinnamon out of it. But that's so
little
much
bit,
better as it warmed up.
yeah, I tell you, yeah,
Even better. Holy shit.
yeah, these guys suck.
Sorry. Yeah, they're awful.
yeah.
Anchorage, you're horrible. Quit making awesome beers.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
Speaking of
Absolutely
music, though,
delicious.
let's circle it back up to Kammy's Cause.
Yeah.
You got some of the
bands?
acts. Yep, I think I saw was it
100%.
Ethan Olvey.
We got Ethan Olvey. We got Zachary Dean. So Zachary Dean is going to be Zach and Krista. They own Fortville Music Garage. So they're a newer business on Main Street. They teach lessons. They're building a full recording studio in there.
Nice.
They're a licensed Paul Reed Smith distributor,
Okay.
which I think is, according to them, kind of hard to get licensing for, right? The PRS, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I have no clue.
All right,
You're
guitar.
talking to.
So, but then they opened up a little coffee shop right below them as well called the Beeline, which has a stage, and they got like national connections, man. So they got like some like,
Wow,
national like country artists that'll come through and just play a set right there in the Beeline, and this little coffee shop
Sweet.
and shit like that. So, very cool people, very very fun and giving and just kind. So much,
That's
a lot of respect to Fortville Music Garage and Zach and Krista. We got Mank and Sass, who is Jared Manker and Sarah Siders. Phenomenal duo. Mank is on the bass, Sarah's on acoustic and vocals, and they're fun, man. They're
So she's
really,
the
really good.
sass.
She is the sass, and she really is. Very talented, very very good at what they do. Love having them. Mank played bass on like 2 of the tracks on the JSP album, so I brought him in and shopped out his talents. St. Aubin is on this list. Have you guys heard of St. Aubin?
St. Aubin, no.
So Trevor St. Aubin, gentleman in the Indianapolis area. I saw them back at what was it? Fountain Square Brewery Festival. They had like it was when they like first had an outside stage.
Yeah, I think we were at that one.
I think you guys you were inside on that
we were
one. You
inside doing
yeah,
it.
we
I
were
sat down
inside
and
doing
talked
the
with
show.
you.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And Cammy's Cause we volunteered at it, so
right,
we were
yeah.
like doing stage and had a booth and shit. And I came in and talked to you guys. So they were there playing that day,
Okay.
They were?
and they were a 3-piece, and
Well, we didn't always get
We
out
were
to all
outside.
of
I
them.
know. I just
Yeah.
don't remember that name of the band even.
they were a 3-piece, and they would rotate.
Well, it might not have been
based
St.
on the
Aubin.
song. Who was playing bass? Who was playing guitar? Who was playing drums? So they would just rotate the whole time. And I'm watching these guys play, dude, and their songwriting, and they're oh my god, dude, like they just had bangers for songs and very well done. And then I think as soon as they released the album, from what I can remember, I think they broke up as a band.
Oh,
Like as soon as the album came out.
sounds normal.
So they've been dark for a while, and then I just saw him pop up back up on social media not that long ago, and then he's kind of doing it. He is St. Aubin, is St. Aubin is me, and and he's bringing
doing
it
his
back,
own thing.
but with these songs, and he just dropped Anchor's Break song dropped today or yesterday, which is one of his newest singles. But oh my god, you guys are gonna love
deal.
St. Aubin.
Yeah.
Like it's
No.
it's beautiful. Keller and Cole, Landon
Oh, yeah.
Keller, Kara
Yep.
Cole.
Yep.
So they just played at the Palladium. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see them, which I was really, really mad about. But two phenomenal human beings. Landon Keller has probably been at, if this is the 18th Kammy's Cause, I would say Landon Keller's been at 16 of them, maybe 15.
Wow.
Out of the
That's
18.
awesome.
And I'd put money on that. So Landon has been down since almost day one, and I can't love that guy enough. Christian Taylor Foundation. I haven't met Christian myself, but I do know Angie Salgi, he was Blue Moon Review. He was Jumper Fox, right? Bassist in those. Yeah, he played with Matt Corkin a lot and Teo. Huh. So every year I hit up Andy and I'm like, what are you working on? And do you want to bring him out to the Cause, right? Blue Moon Review almost played like 10 years at the Cause, So love BMR, love Andy. And this is his, a project that he is part of now with Christian Taylor Foundation. Cool. So very excited to have them. We got Audiodacity.
Yeah.
You know those cats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they're a staple now at the Cause.
Yeah.
They're coming in on like year 10 too. No, they're probably like 6, 7, but they've been there for a long time. Then we got Indica coming up. Which have you guys heard them? So
yeah, actually we were talking about. Maybe it was on the show.
No, I think that was just what I asked you to get me from Michigan.
Right now, do this though. Travel from the south side of Indy. Go from like 65 south, where 465 and 65 south meet, and travel back up the east side, right, of 465.
Sure.
And you will now see like 3 to 4 Indica. People have spray painted them on the back of like the exit signs that are in the middle of the highway. And you get so I like hit the message group for Kammy because I'm like, yo, who's spray painting all these Indicas all over Indy? And they're like, we don't know, but we love it. So their band name is getting spray painted a lot.
All right.
In Indianapolis right now. So Indica, reggae band, full of energy, full of fun, really good songwriting. Sure. And then we got closing it out. We got Dakota Mucky and the Trip, man. So have you heard those cats?
I have not.
Holy shit. So you talk about some kids that are on the next level. So Jake and Riley Huxford are from Fortville, Indiana.
Okay.
I think the part of Fortville where they went to maybe Pendleton High School instead of Mount Vernon. I could be wrong on that. But they were a band, the Huxford Brothers, and then Dakota was part of another band. And I just did a podcast for one of Dakota's podcasts, right? So he's got a couple podcasts that he does, and he had me on for the Doing Good. Was the theme of that podcast. We talked about the Cause and everything.
Cool.
And it was cool for me to kind of talk to him. But Jake Huxford hit me up several years ago when they were still in high school. And he's like, hey, this is our band, The Trip, and we want to be part of Kammy's Cause. We're in Fortville. We come out to your event on the weekend. And I get quite a few of those every single year. You know what I mean?
So,
And so I'll listen to them, and we've gotten a lot of good bands that way.
Sure.
So I'll listen to them, and I'm listening to these cats, and I'm like, damn, these guys are like, they're in high school. Like the music intelligence is up there. You know what I mean? With some like twin cats, some people that have been playing for a long ass time, and I'm like, these kids are in high school doing this, and I'm like, all right, but I was booked up that year, and to be honest, I think I just plain forgot the year after that. And then he hit me back up again, and he's like, hey, man, how's Kammy's Cause? And I think they might have been like 1 or 2 years removed from high school at this point. And I'm like, all right, bet. So they played at Naubrew, and so did Proforms, which at that time consisted of not only Brian Phillips, who's Skits, and Ace One. They were part of Proforms, and they were also the 2 MCs for Breakdown Kings, right? So I like to go and support them and all their ventures. I love seeing them perform.
Yep.
Sure.
So reason I asked them to be in a band, right? Because they're the shit. So and it was our honeymoon. My wife and I's honeymoon was to going to Naubrew, to Nashville, Indiana, to sleep in a tent with a bunch of drunk, sweaty, smelly people and watch concerts at this beer festival. And just, so we went, and we're at our tent doing something, grabbing a snack or grabbing beers or whatever.
Sure, whatever.
And I hear a band on stage, dude, and it was like, it was like grabbing a snack.
You just caught that. It's anniversary. We're just
grabbing a snack. And I hear this band on stage, and I'm like, different than anything I've heard today so far, right? And I'm like, it was like a young Kings of Leon, like out the box, that raw kind of but it was like kind of genius, Kings of Leon. And I'm like, dude, if this is the Trip, like, this is gonna be cool. We go up there, and boom, it was them. And I'm like, I saw Jake, playing bass, and I'm like, oh my God, these are these kids. And I'm like, they're 19, 20 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just destroying it. And I'm
Nice.
like, all right, bet. Show gets over. I'm like, Jake, you still want to play the Cause? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, you guys are in.
Sorry we
in.
didn't do it last year, but yeah.
So the conversation I had with Dakota on his podcast was that when they started, because this will be year 3 for them, the year they started was the year I stopped with Breakdown Kings, and we didn't play anymore.
Right.
So, yeah, because their first year was Main Street.
At Main Street. Okay.
And then last year was their second year, and this will be the third year.
Yep.
And our last year, Breakdown Kings, was at Hoosier Park,
Yep.
right there at the race.
Yep.
So,
Oh, I completely forgot about that year.
Yeah.
and I
Because I had to leave. You guys,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
stayed and did something with White Castles.
well, I was telling him, we kind of got on the topic of music, and I'm like, hey, listing the people that Breakdown Kings opened up for. You know
Right.
what I mean? Incubus and Linkin Park, and
Yep.
Sure.
Ludacris, and on and on, Nappy Roots, and he's like, I never knew. You know what I mean? He's like, why don't you ever hop on stage and play? And I'm like, Dakota, I played for 15 years straight, bro. Like
I'm
you
tired.
came in the year I stopped. Yeah, it got kind of
Still in diapers.
Yeah,
Dude,
I was playing while you were growing up.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it got to the point because we'd be out at that park.
And then this tag, you're it.
We're building that thing for a week, right?
Yeah.
Every
Oh, yeah.
tent, the stage.
Right.
We used to get
Oh,
that stage
yeah.
in pieces and put it together ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, we did everything ourselves for 7 days straight. By the time I had to play music, I had no
Nothing
voice,
Oh yeah.
no energy, and it was just me up there just trying to get
get by the
wringing
night.
out my
Yeah,
shirt of sweat.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yep.
To get by. Never sounded good because I never had a clean voice, and it
Sure.
was just defeating every single time. I love to do it, but my God. But now we're at a point with this
You
event.
can turn it
where-
over to the young kids now.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now I'll get back up there every now and then. You know what
Sure.
I mean? Have this farewell show, but shit, by the time I'm 50, 60, I might get up there. I've started a 90s lounge set, and I think that's just what I'm going to do next.
What the hell's on 90s
yeah.
lounge set?
Just top 100 billboard of the 90s, lounge style, all my piano at
All
At
I'm
restaurants.
picturing is right now is Murph and the Murph tones. I'm just picturing, yeah,
well, good friend of
I
mine.
like it.
pink shag speaker sets and from the Blues Brothers.
Pat, you're onto something with that. That might be dope. I have a velvet smoking jacket.
Oh,
that
shit.
was
There it
part
is.
of this.
Oh shit!
Gold chain, black
Oh,
T-shirt.
yeah.
You know, it's gonna be a
Heiner
thing.
and the Hind tones or
That
something.
will- so a good friend of mine and a perennial sponsor of Kammy's Cause, Jake Burgess owns Fox Garden, right? You guys are right in front of that
Oh, yeah.
restaurant. So Jake Burgess is a dear friend, fantastic human, and I wanted to do this at his restaurant, and I'm like, all right, so I got this 90 set built. I'm ready to play this. It's just me and my piano, real low key background music the whole time. I'm like, all right, so Jared Heiner is it? And I'm like, no, Bake Jurgis. I want to go as Bake Jurgis. Flipping the first 2 letters of his name right. So, and that's it. Velvet coat, gold chain, sunglasses. They got to be
Wait,
prescription.
you did this already?
Not yet.
Oh.
It's happening.
It's
Oh,
gonna, that's
shit.
a must.
I've been
Yeah.
practicing on my upright in
Yeah.
my house. I got to do something, man. Like
Yeah.
music's in my blood. It's in my bones.
and that would be so fun, man. That would
I
be-
just play for my
that would be fucking
family, and they don't give a
hilarious.
shit. They don't, you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
no applause when I finish
Yeah.
a song.
Fucking, he's
Yeah.
pulling an Andy Kaufman. He's just all dressed up in a weird fucking leisure suit.
Yes.
And nobody knows who he is. Got
Completely.
big gold glasses, and nobody can recognize him.
Dude, when we
It's
did
just
the,
straight character.
Picking
we
fights with
did-
the waiters.
have you guys listened to any of the JSP album?
No,
Not in a while, no.
All right. It's the most egregious music you'll ever listen to. It's just raw. Me and my buddy Mikey, it's just a chance. Everything that I've done in my life, every single thing that I've done since starting Kammy's Cause has been keep it clean because of Kammy's Cause.
Right.
Right.
Watch yourself because of Kammy's Cause.
Right.
Anything that I do or fuck up on is going to look bad on Kammy's Cause. So I've
Yes.
had to live that life for 20 years. And like this came along with my buddy, and I'm like, we started it back in 09. But back then it was like clean.
Right.
It was clean humor.
Yeah.
You know, it's just funny music. I'm British. He's Australian. My name's Sue. He's Scrap Iron. Like, completely different personas. And we reimagined the entire project and came back out just rude as hell. And we got in the battle of the bands at Hi-Fi. Don't know how.
No shit.
What year was this?
Right before the pandemic. Right
Oh,
before
really?
the pandemic. Like, pandemic hit. It was at December where we were in the.
Oh,
we went to the
man.
finals and
Well,
like.
he was still stuck up in fucking Winamac
Yeah, it was
at
like-
that
yeah.
point.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like-
we hit the finals. The finals were like in February, and then everything shut down in March.
Yeah.
It was something
Yep.
like that. It was that close.
Oh man.
we just dropped
That
the
sucks,
album,
dude.
and then
That's awful.
but we show up to this battle. I mean, we got a song called like American Fuckboy. We got a song called Cronzies. We got Two Dudes on a Motorbike. We've just got these songs. Mensworth. It's about a crew of Vikings in the 9th century that conquered lands by just sucking off all the dudes in the countries that they wanted to overtake. It just egregious as we could be, and it was like all this stuff that's been pent up for 20 years was like, just let me be crude and rude, and
Yeah.
if it ain't your thing, fine.
Yep.
But I'm just gonna have fun
Gotta
with
let it
this.
out.
And I tell you what, our friends had listened to it, and they had watched the album take place over the 3-4 years it took us to build it, and they were like, they loved it, they love the songs, but they're like, man, you can't do this publicly. Like it's just. And we do. We get in, our only performance is Battle of the Bands at Hi-Fi. Packed room. We get up there and start playing, and the faces in the crowd made those 4 years worth every single
Absolutely.
second.
Hell yeah.
It was, you saw pure delight in like our friends, and
Yeah.
they showed out too.
And
We had a
horror.
bunch of them, and you saw sheer horror and like what is going on the other half of the crowd. And now we won some of them over throughout the set.
Sure.
And they would start smiling. By like song 3, they kind of figured out, oh, this is who they are, and this is
okay.
what they're doing. Okay, now I can laugh at this. But we got to that Mensworth song, bro, and I have an intro on it that's just rude. And there's some girl up front that's like loving our set, and I got to the part about I'm sucking them off, and I watch her just about face and go right to the exit door and walk right out of the building. We made it through the first round. We made it to the semifinals, and at the semifinals, there was an artist there who was a faith-based artist, and he brought the whole congregation to Hi-Fi.
Oh.
And we got up there, as rude as we are. Oh, we were outnumbered at this one, and it was. We didn't get to turn any of them. None of them liked it. None of them liked it at all. So it was
Maybe
it was a
maybe.
crapshoot.
I bet
Maybe,
you.
you
I
don't
bet you
know.
half of them went back when they got
Yeah,
home.
later, yeah.
They got it up on their.
Yep.
I saw a
They got
comment.
internet.
I saw a comment from another musician, an up and coming musician, a female, and it was on like Twitter, Instagram, something like that. And she tagged us in something and was like, talking to her friend. This is what I was telling you about. We're going to their next show, and I'm singing every single word. And I made a point to reach out to her, and I'm like, bet. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is comedy. We're tongue in cheek. We're not being
Yeah.
serious. And but yeah, I'll give you a link to JSP, dude.
Nice.
It'll change your world.
Yeah,
It's my
yeah.
opus.
All
Like,
right.
the whole thing is, Mikey helped out quite a bit, but the instrumentation and everything is, I mean,
All right.
Yeah, I got
everything that I've had
That's
inside me
awesome.
for years. It's my opus.
Nice.
It's rude,
Oh,
but
no.
you take away the
no.
lyrics and the just the melodies and the tracks themselves on
Take
that.
away all of
it's
it. It's
released.
great.
Just you remove
Turn
everything.
turn it off. It's great.
Turn the sound down. Listen to the
Grammy,
words.
Grammy worthy. Just hit stop.
Put on Anne Marie and it'd be great.
Yeah.
All
Anyway.
right.
Let's hit,
Tangent.
we gotta hit
So-
some sponsors and
List out, list out a few of your sponsors, and then we'll wrap this show up though, and head out.
Yeah, so this year at Kammy's Cause, we're very proud to announce that we've been sponsored by Hancock Regional Hospital.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, Truly Blessed Farms, the Ben Eads Agency State Farm Office, Whiskey Business, Forever Young, Indiana Business Solutions, IMI, Telemon, Lunar Companies, Fortville Feeders, the IBEW Local 481, thanks Luke Lynch, M&S Snyder Farms, the Fishers Century Club, thank you Anthony Head, Braden Business Systems, and Killer Apps. So Killer Apps is the one that's going to be doing the
Oh yeah,
for the ping pong table
Sure,
for,
sure,
for the arcade machine.
awesome.
They're going to be doing those, and we still have sponsors piling in. So some that missed the deadline for the poster, but
Sure.
are going to make it on the shirts and the banners and stuff like that we print.
Awesome.
But yeah, I know we kind of
All right,
sidebarred a lot
did
today.
we sponsor
but-
this
oh
year?
yeah, well yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Blind Pick Confessions on here as well.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Presented by Edco, though. So that company, I can't say enough about Edco. They're general contractors, more on a
Yeah.
commercial scale,
Yeah.
but just great, phenomenal people.
Awesome.
The Cammy's Ride is presented by Baldwin
you're
That's
Excavating.
what I was
Right, yeah.
making sure you're doing the ride this year. I thought-
13th,
On the ride?
13th ride. It's going to start on Main Street. So the ride is going to launch at 10 a.m. So kickstands up at 10 on Main Street in Fortville. I think it's 120 or 125 miles, fully escorted by the Fortville Police Department.
Nice.
So props to FPD on that.
Did they do the ride last year?
They did.
Okay.
Kind of same deal.
Yeah.
Like turnout was just,
Yeah.
I think maybe they had like 20 or 30 bikes last year, just to be honest about shit. But our best years have been 110, 120 bikes. Sure. We're hoping to get back to that. We've actually gotten a lot of feedback about the ride this year, so we're expecting quite the crew on the ride.
Deal.
It's going to end at Kammy's Cause like it
Yeah.
always does.
Yeah, that's
so we
so
get
cool,
to
man.
we get to welcome them in. It's not as cool as that gravel drive at the park, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
At the
that
park was
pretty wild,
dope.
man. Yeah.
So.
But it's just cool seeing them come back and ride
Right.
through, man. Yeah,
And they're going to park right next to where everybody's at,
Yep.
so the bikes are going to be able to be seen by everybody.
Sweet.
It's August 27th. It's noon to 10 p.m. at Landmark Park in Fortville, Indiana. It's kammyscause.org. That's Kammy with a K, AMMYS, KAUSE.org. You can find us on social media that same way, Facebook, Instagram. Hit us up, if you want to be a sponsor, if you got silent auction stuff. Our silent auction is huge. It raises, I don't know, maybe close to $10,000 a year for us in that auction. So anything that you can contribute to that, we can put to use and get some money to some really deserving people. So thank you guys for having me
Thanks
on.
for coming over, man.
Yeah,
100%.
Cheers.
Next
That's
time
awesome.
in my garage?
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
That's gonna be a must.
That'll just be a music show.
Okay.
We'll just talk music and bullshit on that one.
Perfect.
Yep, we're expanding out our venues and stuff as he's finally finished with his motherfucking audit or whatever he's been doing for a year at this new job that was supposed to
6
give him
months.
more freedom
They will now. Now they got shit
because he got
done.
fired. No, just kidding.
How you going to get fired on your day off? Trying to build a clubhouse.
Yeah, that's he did the whether or
You
not,
need a day
whether or
off
not
now.
the audit
Oh, you can have
passed.
a lot of days off. Just come back when we call you.
Well, thanks for putting the yard sign up in your yard.
Of course,
No,
man.
absolutely. I'm glad.
No
I'm glad
problem.
you brought that, man. That's awesome. No, any support we can do. Like I said, this is one of our favorite events and closest that we want.
Glad we can get back into
Yeah.
it. Sorry
Yeah.
we missed the 2 years there.
Yeah,
That's all
but,
right.
Well,
Just one.
yeah, it wasn't all our fault.
1 year technically,
You know,
yes.
there's some
Yeah.
bats that were
Bats.
bad.
Bats. What?
We're good, though.
You're
We're going to bring
weirdo.
it back this year. We're going to have a great year. We're going to raise,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's
we're going
gonna
to
be
raise
awesome.
a ton of money.
Gonna have some fun.
It's going to be one of our best years yet, and I can't wait to have you guys out there, man. It's going to be fun to. I actually have time to sit down and talk to you guys now. You know what I mean?
Sweet.
Like with this venue and with everything we've got
Sure.
going on,
Yeah.
it's so much easier to run.
Right.
Requires less manpower.
Yeah.
And we had 75 volunteers last year. I think we need 30.
Awesome.
To be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
Sure.
No, it's good.
we got
yeah.
things fine tuned,
That's
man.
awesome.
Excited to show you guys the new spot, the new digs.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, looking forward
All
to
right,
it.
cheers. We'll see you out there in a few
Kammy's
weeks.
Cause, August 27th.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Coming out the huddle called the wrong play. Essence of reality is gonna be a long day. Make it untrue to fold back the demons. Hot with hate, a chance to make even. Divots in the grass, cracks in the concrete. Harmonious hearts, done to only one beat. Been there, done that. Living through the days that most will run away. So I hold that note, write that rope. Climb down from above, I swim but can't float. Waves get made and boards create surf. Ride down a coastline, touching the earth. So what's that worth? Just blood and sweat. Sitting at the prom, a chance to dance next. Now we gotta rock this side by side. Avalanche, your branch, peace, the choice, pride. Must I go so far from home to become what I'm not? Must I flow so far from home? Have I become shadows on the moon?
I know, but still I don't wish. Way do I move on? Which way to go? So I stand with many and we stand as one and we stand alone upon our cosmic throne now. Come bask in light from stars so bright we shine in the heavens, never far from the sky. Trail the tail of our comets fly and you can find us where the shadows